I realized that I didn't actually have an intro to my oil pressure video, and I thought that this might be a good time to sit down and actually explain what I was doing. Um, so, when you rebuild a motor, the oil pump and the internals, they're not filled like the oil galleries and oil lines, the oil filter. They aren't the actuators. They aren't filled with oil, so the initial priming of an engine is critical so that every oil passage and everywhere that's supposed to get oil has oil already before it initially fires up. Um, it really is important as well that it's rotating freely and that there isn't a compression stroke while you're building the oil pressure. Compression stroke is actually going to cause a lot of it's not. I'm not gonna say it's gonna directly cause wear, but some people are gonna look at that and be like, oh yeah, it's gonna stretch the shit out of the bearings. I'm sure it will, um, but you don't want any load on the bearings, which is what the compression stroke is gonna give every time that it is trying to compress. So if you remove the spark plugs while you're priming the engine, it's able to rotate freely and a lot smoother. I've seen online too guys saying that when you have the spark plugs out that it actually also does take less time to build oil pressure. That makes sense in my head because it's able to spin a lot more freely. So the oil pressure is, I think, it's critical. It's it's critical to have a healthy functioning motor, and no matter which way you put it, that that's something really important. It doesn't matter who you are, oil pressure is important. I've gone through quite a quite a few through quite a few lengths to make sure that the oil pressure is going to be met what the car's asking for, and not going to exceed or not be able to meet those expectations. And I actually ended up going with the IAG Stage 2 CNC ported oil pump, which is the factory 11 millimeter, but they CNC port the outlets and inlets of the oil pump. That was not cheap, but get it on tune. Dominic Asia, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, my man. I'm sure you won't see this, but he ended up saying, it's if you're doing it, do it right the first time. If you got the coin, it's worth the money. And Mike from Moto IQ as well, Josh Bader, they've been great, helped me out with the whole build, and I don't want to overbuild, and I also don't want to underbuild it too. The biggest thing though is knowing the expectations of the car. Flat Irons Tuning made a lot of good videos of what to get for your oiling systems, and if you're into the Subaru's heavy Flat Irons Tuning, I really suggest you guys take a look at that. Any question whatsoever, don't go on Facebook. Go look on their page. I swear they will have what you're looking for, and it'll be faster than looking for forums. A lot more reliable too. Oil pressure is important. Now what you're gonna see me do is build the oil pressure. I remove the fuel relay. That makes sure that no matter what, the car's not gonna try to start. That's preventative maintenance that I took as well in these STIs, and in the older ones, if you put your foot to the floor, I've read that will disable the fuel ignition while you're trying to crank, so you don't actually have to pull the fuse, but I did just for good measure. It's not like it was hurting anything, and it ended up working really well. Seen online it takes somewhere up to 45 seconds to a minute to prime the engine, and the oil pressure light goes out. And that's about what mine took as well. That was as expected. No oil leaks, very fortunate of that. It's worth putting your spark plugs back in. I didn't I didn't put the spark plugs in when I built the motor because I knew that I'd have to take them out for the oil pressure, and that's just what it was and what it came to. Keep your spark plugs out, rotated great. Um, it took 7.3 liters, the initial. I actually put 7.5 in it, but it was a bit over, so I'm gonna say 7.3, something like that. It was pretty nerve-wracking, if I'm being honest. And the IAG oil pan that I bought the competition series oil pan with the baffles, windage tray, and the pickup. That's supposed to hold another quart or liter of oil. I can't remember which it is, but I didn't really know what to go off of for oil in it, so I did what they said online, started with 5, and I let it sit for a while. Obviously this isn't the proper procedure after filling it, but and checking your oil, but I let it sit for about 10 minutes, checked the oil is still reading below the low line at 5, and then I ended up getting 7.5, whatever it was, after priming, and oil level was great after startup, and I did start it for 3 minutes and immediately did an oil change to get all the fluids, any gunk out, assembly lube, ARP lube, fastening lube, praying no silicone, but you know, there's definitely some in there. But no, it ended up working good after the first oil change. It took 5.5, I believe. I have it written down somewhere, but 5.5 is what it took for the second change, and that's pretty typical, I think. It's gonna take a lot more oil after rebuild and initial startup, but it was important. It was definitely important. So hopefully I can edit this and make something out of what I was just rambling into the screen over nothing of. But yeah, thanks guys, and hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks, take care. Alright, I'm getting stressed the fuck out. Just got the, show you the light, the fuel pump 15A. That is a 15, coming right out of 15A right here. Alright, let's do this. Been in this thing in a minute. Oh, she's got power. Security lights on. That was to be expected. This is stressful as fuck. So I got my foot to the floor here, praying to Jesus. I'm really trying to not wear out the starter or kill the battery. I guess it really do take a minute to build the pressure up. It's just stressful as fuck. It's out! It fucking went out! We got fucking oil pressure, boys! Let's go! She went out! Boys! It went out! Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck! Boys. Boys. Let's get her fucking... Let's get her fucking going, boys. Let's go. Let's go. We got oil pressure. 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 We got oil pressure, boys. Don't put your batteries on concrete. Somebody who's smart told me that. All we gotta do is throw these spark plugs in, put the intake on, and fucking fire it up. Boys, we are so fucking close. New OEM spark plugs, because that's how we're doing today. We got fucking oil pressure! We got oil pressure! We got oil pressure! We got oil pressure! Check engine light was on. Am I worried? Fuck no. I need my little extension! We have This is not the time to be fucking around. Where the fuck is my extension? Oil pressure! Oil pressure! Oil pressure! Alright, one side of spark plug's done. Alright, she got oil pressure. Spark plugs are in. Papa John's here. Ready for the first crank? Just let her breathe some.
Who are you talking to?
The camera.
What?
The camera. You ready, Papa John? Just let her rip. She fired!